People who lost weight, how did you do it? And how did you keep it off? Understand why you eat, drink too much. Is it stress? Is it boredom? Is it lack of understanding of how to make healthy meals or a process to be prepared? Is it that you eat mindlessly, etc., etc.? Everyone knows calories in, calories out, eat less, move more, but to be frank, if it was truly that simple to execute, no one would be fat. It's like telling an alcoholic you just not drink, duh. Used an app to track calories and started walking every day at least 10,000 steps. About a year ago I joined a gym and have gained back about 15 pounds, but my wife says it's definitely muscle and my smaller pants still fit, so maybe she's right. Edit forgot to add I started 6 years ago and weighed about 220 pounds at 5'8". Lowest I got was 171, now about 184-85. I walk about 17,000 steps a day now and gym 3-4 times a week. Also I am 53 years old, so never too late to start. I've lost 70 pounds in 8 months, humble brag, but still a lot more work to do. I've really just had to realize getting healthy isn't a one and done type deal. For the rest of my life I'm going to have to incorporate daily activity and maintain a reduced caloric intake. It's not always fun, but the results are absolutely worth it. 2 things. 1. Started walking a minimum of a mile a day. If I feel like doing more, great, but I get that mile in every day whether I want to or not. 2. To emphasize meat and dairy. Didn't even give them up, just made them more occasional. A bowl of beans and rice, seasoned however you like it, makes a great meal. It got me below 200 pounds for the first time in decades. During the pandemic, I got a cheap elliptical off Amazon. Started using it for 5 minutes a day, then 10, then 20, etc. Then it broke. It was a very cheap elliptical. Decided to try jogging around the block instead, and just kind of stuck with it. Now a couple of years later I'm doing 4 to 6 miles every other day. I feel way better, and I can eat more of the stuff I like without gaining weight back. I found out that I actually really like running, but I just didn't give it a chance in high school. I think the key is finding exercise that you enjoy. It's way easier to stick with if you like it. I use tirzepatide. It's a stronger version on Ozempic. Some say maybe that's cheating, but when you're an obese alcoholic who needs to dry out, this was my route. Currently down 60 pounds and the desire to drink has vanished. Food Scale, a diet tracking app, and planning my diet. I spent a few minutes figuring out how many calories I could eat and still be in a deficit, given my lifestyle. I then planned out some meals that would keep me in that range, and I recorded what I ate to make sure I was sticking to it. I managed to lose almost 60 pounds in a year this way. I was also exercising, but the weight loss was very slow until I got the Food Scale and started tracking what I ate. Gastric bypass to fix gastroparesis and uncontrollable reflux. All gut issues now gone and dropped 40 kilograms. Drastic, yes, but life is worth living now. People will say this way is cheating, but I did it for me, not for anyone else. Vegovi. It shuts off the voice in your head reminding you that you can DoorDash an extra large pizza and eat the whole thing. Lost 40 pounds and kept it off. It helped me rethink and reset the way I was eating. Plus doing the treadmill every morning, weightlifting every evening, and no more sugary soft drinks, etc. I drink black coffee now instead of the diabetic brew from Starbucks. My diet is poverty. Stopped drinking during the week. I stopped putting food in my mouth and started exercising. I realize it's a cliche, but it's the truth. Also, I maintain my weight with exercise. I'm not a big fan of using exercise to lose weight, but it will certainly keep the weight off once it's gone. Good tips from others. I would add. Definitely do strength training. Gaining muscle is like building more micro furnaces in your body. From all the tissue types: skeletal muscle, adipose tissue, brain, liver, etc., muscle tissue burns the most energy in your body per kilogram tissue. That's why strength training is so effective. You don't only burn the energy in the process, but you're building the calorie-burning infrastructure for in-between trainings when your body is just resting. Also, acquiring lean muscle will pay back in old age. Coming from a food addiction, it was and continues to be the hardest thing I've ever done. I wish it was as simple as most people make it out to be, but it took me years and years of psych work, medication, suicide attempts, job losses, etc. to finally break out of it, but the cravings never go away, and they torment me daily. Am I glad I did it? Absolutely, I'm way healthier and happier now. But don't come at me with that just count calories, it's easy BS. It was a decade-long struggle that almost cost me my life in multiple ways. Eat less. Move more. Keep doing that. Beyond that, I avoid anything sugary as a general rule. Refined sugar is the biggest thing that people don't think about when they eat. Look at the calories in anything sugary, it's insane. It's fine to treat yourself from time to time, but a common thing that makes people gain weight is sugary drinks in particular. It's just plain easy to drink 1,000 calories a day and not even realize it. Diet is a huge part of losing weight. Exercise is a small part, but also great for your overall health. You can be skinny and not be healthy. When having meals, try to eat a ton of vegetables. Not only are they low in calories, but you will be stuffed eating them as they have lots of fiber. Make 75% of your plate vegetables. Nothing drastic, really. Between August 2022 and March 2023, I was just always on a calorie deficit. Skipped some days. But nothing radical, really. I went down from 78 kilograms to 66 kilograms in about 7 months. Since then it's mostly stabilized between 61 and 66 kilograms. I hardly can go above that, or below that. Mostly because I feel fine with how I look at the moment. Losing weight is a bit like a marathon, not a sprint. Fast loses don't last too long, unless they stay like that for months, so in my case it was mostly just a long-term dedication. Had my guts operated on. I didn't have much of an appetite for a while. I started counting calories using app. It was eye-opening. Later I added a lot of activities, like I biked more, I started working out, went from 3 times a week to 6 times a week. Within a little more than half a year I started climbing again. To be honest, the only way that really works is the calorie counting. It gives you a good idea on how much calories certain foods have and makes it easier to keep yourself in check even if you don't use the app. Intermittent fasting and walking. Now going through a divorce, so eating a lot but starting to fast and eat healthy again. Gastric sleeve. Have lost 60 kilograms in just under a year. Cut calories and the majority of sugar. Down 64 pounds since August currently. Just that simple. When you start to realize how many calories and sugar are in everything, you just check the label after a while and account for it.